ladies and gentlemen, it's your host. Look at that, right there on the shirt, Dr. Giggles. We're in the house, yeah. It's a Thursday night. It's your weekly broadcast of the Grove Show. And, of course, we got quite the show for you. We got some news. We're going to cover, we're going to do a recap of Ace Day at Canobie Lake. We're going to talk about Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. We're going to be throwing ideas out for a SFNE Online off-season event. And whatever else becomes inside our little chat. Those that are tuning in that have never talked to us, maybe you're watching, maybe you're just stalking, maybe you just want to enjoy the show and not become, your anti-social. But anyway, you can get in on the chat. All you got to do is look to the right of the screen and you will see a comment section and you'll see all of us maybe acting dumb or having a good time, getting in on the conversation. That's what you need to do. No need to be shy. We don't bite. We have fun. We all have fun. But in any case, so tonight, we got all that. We're going to cover upcoming Ace events, but I also want to talk about Phoenix Fall Fun Fest at Canobie's because that is coming up next week, and it's definitely one of my top 5, if not favorite event of the year anyway. So, I know some people have gone, some people haven't even been to the park, some people, I don't know what people think about it, but I'm excited about it. And I don't know, but we're going to talk about it anyway. But for those that don't know, Ace Spring Con starts tomorrow. I guess it's possible you could still go if you email Steve Smith if you're looking to go. I know there's a bunch of people I know going down there. They're all hitting Universal and a million other parks. Who's going to Disney, who's going to Fun Spot, who's going to Universal, who's going to Busch Gardens, getting ready for Spring Con and stuff. But I wanted to throw that out there just in case somebody actually wanted to go that was like, oh, I forgot all about it. You're going to have to pay a little bit more money, but you can still go. What's that? Elio's Pizza is in the oven. Yes, we're live. Yeah, stalking intensifies. Because I know there's people, like if you look and see how many people are actually watching versus how many people are talking sometimes, it gets quite funny because you'll see maybe sometimes 10 people talking and then all of a sudden, 15 viewing and you got 10 talking. Some people just like to view, stalk, see what's going on, that kind of good stuff. So you never know. PPP is great. But we're going to get into that in just a smidgy. What I want to do is I got a small bits of news. Nothing major's coming out, but there's a couple talking points that I thought would be good to talk about. The first one's going to be, I'm sure most of you heard it. If not, maybe some don't care. But what I'm going to tell you is probably going to lead into something else. This has to do with Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios. They did announce that the studio backlot tour is closing on the 27th of September for good forever. It's going to get ripped out. See you later. Goodbye. Now, was it, it's a very dated attraction. I've only ridden it once. I thought it was all right. Was it the greatest thing in the world? No, but it was entertaining for sure. And especially, it's kind of like when you go to Universal and you ride Disaster. They get people from the audience to participate in it, and everybody has fun, and, you go on the tram tour and all this other stuff. And, it's a pretty decent, attraction. Plus, it's good for a lot of times you can sit down, in the tram car, drive around, see a lot of stuff. And it's good to get off your feet at, It's probably a better later in the day kind of attraction, I guess you could say. But what that means is one attraction gone. But if you notice the thing that's been going on in the Hollywood studios there, they've been American Idol experience is going bye-bye. This is going bye-bye. No, it's not the end of the world, but it's for future expansion. And Hollywood studios definitely needs this. This is one of those things where, all right, they haven't really, they've been expanding time and time again, but it's something that they need. Something that they need to do. Oh, I rode it the first time that I took the kids to Disney in 2009. So I only know it from that. I haven't seen it after that, and I haven't seen it before that. So what I remember, it's pretty entertaining. I heard it was bigger at one point or something, a little bit different, but uh, the rumor, the rumor around the campfire, is that's where Cosland is gonna go. It's a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed, but it is a rumor. Uh, ever since the success that it had out in California Adventure, uh, people are crying for it to go into Hollywood studios. It's right near a little Pixar area there, and I think it would be a great addition to the park. I mean, I've seen the video. That was Cosland a lot of stuff? No, but the ride certainly, turned heads and everybody likes it. There wasn't a lot of in terms of attractions. I'm sure they can utilize that and make something amazing out of it. They could also, add some more rides themed to Cars. Cars is a big thing between the first and the second movie. They made buku bucks. It's a popular franchise. It'll work. So my thinking is that's what's going to happen. They're going to rip that out, and in some point in some time, they're going to announce Cars Land there. So keep your eyes out. See, this has been ongoing for a couple of years, and then with the Magic Band thing that they had, the issue with, they shut down a lot of the projects because the amount of money they were spending to make sure those Disney band, the Magic Band, whatever they call those things, work. And I guess they're still tweaking, but for the most part it works now, and they're going to start flowing money into projects. Did I say SpringCon? I meant FallCon. It's fall time. It's fall. In my brain, with so much going on in my life, I can't remember half of the things I did. I almost forgot to do the show. I was like, oh, I gotta go set up. There's so many things going on, so many things coming up, so many things just going around in a circle. Yeah, see, I mean, we all know that theming with Disney is going to be fantastic, but there's a lot of people out there that say Disney's going on the cheapo, and they're not doing, they're not seeing where if they spend $100 million on a ride, did they really get the $100 million worth out of the ride? Like a lot of people are trashing the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster, saying they spent a lot of money and the coaster really isn't that great, just a kiddie coaster. But the theming on it is amazing. I mean, if you think it's anything more than a kiddie coaster, then Disney isn't really known for thrill rides, but I think they're pretty well known, and they set the bar for theming. And Universal's nipping at the bud with that as well too, the whole theming element of things. But I really think that when Cosland is going to go into the back lot studio tour there, that's what I think is going to happen. And somewhere near the Star Wars ride, if you're looking at it to the right, I think they're going to rip out a bunch of stuff over there, and they're going to put a whole Star Wars land there. And it's something that Hollywood Studios needs. They have some marquee attractions. You can go ride Toy Story Mania. You can ride the Aerosmith roller coaster. You can go ride Tower of Terror. Those seem to be the standout. Go watch Fantasmic. Those are all the standout attractions to that park. Most of the other stuff, you can see the Indiana Jones stunt show. I've seen that once. I thought it was pretty decent. But I think this is definitely something that Hollywood Studio needs to get that attendance up even more. Bring more people into it. Utilize Cars and Star Wars. Especially with Star Wars, spending all that money, and nothing has really come out of it yet in terms of, hey, let's, we spent the money. What are we doing besides, they're in production with movies and cartoons and merchandise, and they still do their Star Wars weekends. They updated Star Wars tours, Star Wars 2 a couple of years back. Yeah, Expedition Everest definitely got its money. For those that don't know what Expedition Everest is, either you're living under a rock, maybe you don't know, maybe you're new to the whole coaster game, but that is an Animal Kingdom awesome coaster based off of with the Yeti and Mount Everest, and before, when I went, I would always do I always used the skip the line pass thing. I never wanted to wait in a line, when you use the fast pass. But one time I said, hey, you know what? I want to see the queue. Because everybody knows they even take time to make the queue just as good as the elements on the ride. So they went and they got artifacts and stuff like that from around Mount Everest and things that have to do with that type of thing. So what I'm thinking about is, because we all know, what is it, 2017, 16, 17, that Avatar Land is going to open. And they're going to do the whole, with the show with the lights, and they're going to do all kinds of stuff. They're going to have rides and shops and things themed to that. Is it going to be as powerful as Harry Potter? No one knows. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to have that power stay in terms of a franchise such as Harry Potter. Because I'm looking to see when Disney is going to add that next level ride that's going to compete with Universal Studios. I mean, Disney's Disney. People are going to go. People are going to enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm a big kid. I enjoy everything that's there. But I'm waiting to see when that attraction is going to come that's going to go, wow, they really hit it out of the park. Because, I mean, even though the Seven Dwarf Mine Train, the theming looks good, it's a new type of car on the track with the swaying and all that. But was it enough to attract and see a big bump in tourism? Probably not. People were going to Disney anyway. I don't think the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train swayed them one way or the other. I mean, people, when Harry Potter opened Diagon Alley, people were waiting to make their plans until they knew that the ride was opening. So, Expedition Everest got their money's worth, yes. Rides like Splash Mountain and Space Mountain and Big Thunder Railroad, those were big marquee attractions that you have in Magic Kingdom. So I'm hoping that in some capacity, somewhere down the road, that Disney has something up their sleeve that's like a big wow. And I really think the only time they're going to get the wow is when they put Star Wars into the parks. I mean, if they want to see a big uptick in a park, I bet money that if you put that in Hollywood Studios or open its own land somewhere, that the instant that Star Wars land opens, you are going to see the crazy lines, just like Harry Potter. Star Wars is way bigger than Harry Potter, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking down the line, that's what you're going to see with Hollywood Studios. I think that's where it's going to go, Star Wars Land and Cars Land, and I think what you're going to see is that's what you're going to see happen, and I can't wait for the day for that to happen. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know about anybody else's 2 cents, but that's my 2 cents. So what else I got on the news front, yo? All right, let's talk Kentucky Kingdom. Now, we talked about rides coming. We didn't know what the other rides that were coming in. Now we know. They announced either today or yesterday that they announced the attendance for this year for reopening and all that, and they had over 600,000 people attend the park. So they were very happy with that. They didn't know what the attendance was realistically going to be. But it shows that, people wanted to come, people wanted to enjoy. And yes, they had to, they opened what they opened, and now they're going to open actual 5 new rides, plus the amphitheater. So, what they're opening, we all know, is T3, the Rapids ride. But they're also going to reopen the Enterprise. There's a ride called Cyclos and Skycatcher. Cyclos is one of those. I rode the same thing at Coney Island and Luna Park. The swing seats, sit on the outside, and then it goes completely around, and they're getting one of those. And then something called the Skycatcher, which is basically like a sky screamer, but it looks more like the carnival type ones, not an exact sky screamer. But they're going to get one of those as well. Plus, they're going to have the amphitheater. So I think that it's just going to be one of those, hey, they're spending $30 million next year. They're going to expand the hours, expand the time the park's open. They had 94 days this year. They're going to do 105, 110, or 115 days next year. So they're going to expand the time in the park, which I think is good. I think it's really good that they came back from the dead and people are going. I mean, I only had like 3 hours in the park when I had gone to, during Spring Con, we had a 3-hour click for ERT on the two coasters, Lightning Run and Thunder Run. So, with that being said, we only got to really experience just a little bit. Got to see some stuff. It still looks like it's a Six Flags park. I'm sure over time they're going to transfer it out of that so it doesn't still have that Six Flags feel and look to it. But, as time goes on, they're going to fix that. Excuse me. Uh-oh. All right. So in any case, back to that. So with Kentucky Kingdom, they did good. They're opening up new attractions. So we'll see what happens next year. A little tidbit here. This came out from people going, people heading down for spring Fall Con down. They're heading down there. People there are Universal, and something came up that we didn't know about. But for those riding Rip Ride Rocket now, they are doing checkpoints in the line to make sure you have nothing in your pockets whatsoever. Not a thing to ride that ride. Excuse me. So, I have no idea what has caused this. I know the ride was down in the summertime. Maybe something flew out of somebody's pocket or whatever the case is. Maybe hurt somebody. I don't know. But in any case, they definitely they're going to check your pockets. They're going to run your pockets. So be mindful when going to ride the ride that they no longer want you to have anything inside your pocket. They got checkpoints to make sure you have nothing. So I don't know if they have lockers. That I don't know. I'm trying to get more information to people to find out, but that's what I saw pop up on Facebook today to see if, in fact, what the deal is. I have no clue what's going on with that. I just know that now when you want to go ride the ride, you need to. Yeah, they want absolutely zero in your pocket for Rip Ride Rocket. Nothing. You can't have keys, wallet, money, nothing. I know it's weird that they're doing that. I don't understand what the deal is, but hopefully if they're doing that, they got a big locker station out there to and free. The same thing, when they go, when you're riding Bizarro, they don't want things hanging out. But I think in this case, if you don't want anything in the pockets, I'm hoping that you're providing free lockers for that. Because I think if they're making you pay, that's totally messed up. Because I'd still go with all the stuff in my pocket, and it doesn't even matter if you got zipper pockets, button pockets. Nothing is allowed in your pockets. Nothing. So, and it does sound like something Six Flags would do. If they're making you pay the lockers, that's going to be causing an uproar. And that I got to find out. I want to find that out, and when I do find that out, I am going to report back on that next week to find out what's going on. Because next week's show is going to be fun. Next week's show is going to be a lot better than this week's. But that's all the news that I got. And I'm going to tell you why next week's show is going to be a hell of a lot better than this week's past show. Put it this way. Next week, the Grove Show will not be filmed here. Next week, the Grove Show is going to be filmed live from New York next Thursday night. And also, on the show, we are going to have a slew, and I mean a slew, I mean a ton of special guests on the show. We are going to have Tony, May, Lorna, Luco, kids. It's going to be mayhem. We're all going to get down and dirty. We're going to hype up our excitement for PPP. We're going to bring you the news. We're going to bring you all the coaster madness that they possibly can. So, it's probably going to be a little crazy. It's going to be a little hectic. Maybe we'll all get everybody else funky names for the show. I'm Dr. Giggles. We have DJ Legend. We have Lady of the Grove. And now we're going to have people. So anyways, let's get into Ace Day Canopie. It was actually pretty well attended, I have to admit. Hey, you can watch the show live next week, Luco, if you would like to. You can watch yourself, unless you're not going to be there. Yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about Ace Day Canopie Lake. I know past events weren't as well attended as this year. This year had 55 guests, and yeah, I have to say, I love Canopie Lake, but I hate when it's busy. But it was not busy, and it was great. Everything was pretty much a walk-on, for the most part. Everything was pretty much a walk-on. I was shocked that somebody had said last week that it's not going to be busy, and I was like, well, it's a Saturday. It's got to be busy. You know, I don't usually, I'm me. I'm stubborn. I don't usually listen to other people. That's not my kind of thing, So it was just one of those. I liked the park that it was dead, and I got to enjoy everything. I mean, we didn't ride, the water rides because it was too chilly to ride water rides. I was surprised they were even open, to be honest with you. So, like I said, the ride the rides were awesome. We rode I don't even know, it was Skyway, Sky whatever, the chairlift ride there. I rode it at night. I never had ridden it at night. It was great. We rode Caterpillar at night. We rode it during the day. We rode Extreme Frisbee. The only thing about the Extreme Frisbee is I don't really like the cycle it's got. It keeps changing different, the way it rotates too many times. I think they should change less times in the different directions and spin more in those directions. It's like right when you're starting to feel it, it changes and switches the other way. And it's, I don't know, it just seemed too much of, what do you call it? It's not spinning enough because the idea on paper, the idea, it'd be like me saying, yeah, hey, we're going to go, what do you call it? We're going to just keep changing the rotation in different directions every so often, like every 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Spin it, and then stop, spin it, and then stop, and then spin it. So it's one of those, I don't know, to me, I didn't like it. Well, I think the weather played a part in it being that dead because the threat of rain and all that, and it was cold. And I think people, it's that transition time of the year where the park is still open, but it's not Halloween time in the park. I think people were like, you know what? I had enough of Canopie over the summer. I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go, and when, it's Scream Fest. So I think that's, it's kind of like right now with Six Flags and Lincoln. I'm sure it's not that busy right now, even on a Saturday, because everybody's going to the Big E. The Big E closes this weekend. It's the last weekend for the Big E. So people are just going to go to the Big E, and they're going to start coming to Six Flags, next weekend. Even though Fright Fest has started, I don't know how busy it's going to be this weekend, and we're going to get into that as well. But, any case, like I said, that part of it was cool. We rode everything. The Mind Lost Souls, Yankee Cannonball, Untamed, and quite weird. I didn't really bash my head on it like I usually do on Untamed. It was very weird. Indoor Scramble at Psycho Dome. What else did we? Oh, we rode the Turkish, whatever that is, the floor drop ride. My kids rode the pirate ship. Oh, the corkscrew. Yeah, that ride has to go. I'm sorry. The Canopie corkscrew needs to go bye-bye. That thing there's two spots that bang, no matter what I did, bang my head. I couldn't stop. And it was right before going to the corkscrew and then coming out of the corkscrew. The way it hit, it was like, bam! Yeah, see, I never got to enjoy Equinox. I've seen it closed every time that I was there. So, yeah, why can't they operate it at full height? I think that's kind of dumb that it's not. See, that shouldn't count to that ride because it's just up and down and it stops. It's not at a constant 90, 95 feet. I want to say that that park was there before most of those people were there. I really don't think those people should impose these kind of crazy restrictions on the park. Yeah, I don't. That has to be like a roller coaster or something. I don't think the swinging. Maybe they just don't because the ride. Maybe they think that they can't swing the ride like that. I don't know. The food, for the most part, was pretty good. The only thing that I did not care for was hot dogs, and sausage was all right. But the hot dogs they had sucked. I'm sorry. They were awful. Hamburgers were all right. Chicken was all right. I liked the corn on the cob. The hot dogs were the worst part of the meal. It's a matter of fact. When after we were done eating a bunch, we went and had a cigarette, and on the way out, there was a guy there with an iPad asking, hey, you want to do a survey? So we're like, yeah, we'll do the survey. And then he's asking about, the food and the food quality and what did you like and what didn't you like. Oh, I got to answer this. I'm going to put her on. I hate when she calls and then, when anybody calls and then stops. I was getting ready to hang it. I was going to put her on blast on the show. Oh, well. Any case, I told the guy, I said the worst part of the meal was the hot dogs. He's like, well, what do you think we could do? I was like, use a different brand of hot dog. I'm like, that was bad. I mean, some people probably love the hot dogs. I'm not really a big hot dog person. I am to an extent. I'm a natural casing kind of hot dog or a hot wiener kind of hot dog. Regular cheap hot dogs, they taste like crap. They're not good. So the hot dogs, yeah, I think the food made everybody poop, Luco. I really do. I think the food made everybody poop. That's for sure. I wasn't a big fan of the hot dogs, that's for sure. Everything else was pretty good that they had for the food, for the lunch. From what was it, 1 to 3? I missed the Q&A. I have no idea what was said. I was like, you know what? They're on the Q&A. I'm gonna go hit some rides. And usually that's not like me. Usually I like to sit and listen to the Q&As and all that stuff. See what comes out. I don't know if they announced anything for 2015. Probably not. Unless somebody in this room was there that actually got to, what do you call it? Listen to it. Yeah, Turkish Twist, the giant washing machine. That's what it is. I like the ride. That ride's good. So anyway, we rode rides, and we had ERT and Untamed. So we rode that once. Then we rode Yankee Cannonball. And we skipped the corkscrew. I'm hoping that ride goes bye-bye. Melt it. Something. It's time for that ride to go. That thing was a complete walk-on. Well, everything was a walk-on that day. But I think they could do better and put a better coaster in that spot. Maybe a new Woody. Doesn't have to be gigantic. I mean, look at the success that Storyland had and Quasi had with small coasters, small footprints, and still put a big bang for their buck out of it. I think if they stay within their height limit, that's a big area that they could put a decent Woody in there. I think that would be great. Personally, for me. Yeah, and, we all got Those that, were there for ERT, before ERT started, all got tickets to come back for Screamfest. They're only good on a Friday or a Sunday, not a Saturday, but still it's a free ticket to come back, and then I have an extra ticket because I spent over $40 in the gift shop. So, I'll be going back, I believe, the weekend of the 25th, 26th is when we're coming back. I think that's the only free weekend we had. So that's when we'll do that. So all in all, I would say that there you go. I just think that the corkscrew is way past its prime. It's a very painful coaster. I mean, for the park itself, it's a great coaster for the park. But when I ride a ride, I don't want to be banging my head around all day. I don't want to be. I feel like I'm getting punched in the head by Mike Tyson. I don't want to feel that I need to brace myself for a ride, my head, and all that, because it hurts. I want to enjoy the ride. I want to chill out. I want to enjoy it. I want to put my hands up. I don't want to brace myself. I want to enjoy it. And the Canobie corkscrew, I cannot enjoy. I'm sorry. But I just can't. It hurts too much. I will take anything. I will take a kiddie coaster over Canobie corkscrew. Actually, I'll take the Canobie corkscrew over Millennium Force, but that's another story. But in any case, I think... See, the thing I love about Canobie is they have a pretty awesome selection of flats, which is great. I hope they never change that about the park. You got tilt-a-whirls, you got scramblers, you got caterpillars, you got roundups, you got dock rides, water rides. You got a mix of everything. Everything that you could possibly imagine that's underneath the sky of that park. It's a perfect park. I mean, I think what they should do is just get rid of the corkscrew, add another coaster there, get rid of Equinox now. They're never going to open it. Put a new ride there. I know somebody said there's another empty spot somewhere that I didn't even notice. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know how much more room they have to expand, but add another couple flats, and that park is golden. They don't have to go crazy. They could get a Music Express or something like Kontiki, whatever they call those rides. Something. Yeah, Corkscrew is a crappy classic. That's like trying to say a 1980 Ford Escort is a classic. That's what the Canobie Corkscrew is. It's like a Ford Escort from 1980. See, the weird thing, and I had this discussion with everybody over the weekend. See, when I was a kid, my corkscrew was the one at Rocky Point, the looping corkscrew. So when it came down the first drop, you had the loop, and then it went into the corkscrews. When I was a kid, that didn't even hurt. It didn't even bother me. I'm becoming an old guy now, and it hurts. I don't like it anymore. I don't care if it was corkscrew 1 or 105. They hurt. They should all be... Even the one at Cedar Point, I skip it now. I mean, I'll have to ride it once when I take Jeremy to the park, because Jeremy's never been to Cedar Point, so when I take him there, I'm going to wait till he can get on everything, and then I'm going to take him to Cedar Point and let him have his time, let him have his turn, because Devin's been already, so I'll let Jeremy experience it. I'll let Jeremy have his fun. I'll ride it once with him, and I'll yell at him, and then it will suck. Yes, it will. But that's besides the point. But all in all, I loved the event. I'm going to go next year if they have it again, which I'm sure they will. It was fun. I had a ball. The kids had a ball. The girlfriend had a ball. Luco had a ball. We had a ball. It was definitely great. And if you've never been to Canobie Lake, I totally suggest going to it. It's really fun. If you want to wait for an event, that's also good too. I mean, ERT, you got a ton of rides on Yankee Cannonball. That's a fantastic Woody. If you sit in the back, it's like you sit in the very, very back. It's like a powwow of airtime. It's great. I love it. I had a lot of fun there. That was probably the best time I ever had at Canobie Lake. Maybe it was the people I was with. Maybe because the park wasn't dead. All around, great people to hang around with. We hung out with Larry and Tina. It was Larry's birthday. Uh, we, we bumped into all some Grove members here. We bumped into a lot of people that we know. We had a lot of fun, and needless to say, it was a great event. And hopefully we see. No, all corkscrews need to be destroyed. No, the one at the Great Escape, I got a headache, and that was like one of the first rides I rode after the Comet. When I rode that, I was like, a lot of people didn't even want to ride it. They're like, it's a painful ride. I think, obviously it's in the restraint, and I understand it's an old car, it's an old restraint system, and who is going to pay money on that ride to update it with new restraint? Nobody is. They're just going to let everybody get beat in the head like a punching bag. That's just, some people can handle it. I can't, for one. It was painful, and I would not like to ever ride it again. Please, don't make me ride it again. So, with that being said, like I said, it was great. Who's Larry Wagner? I don't know who that is. But anyway, great event, great park. If you've never been, you need to go. End the story. My opinion on it is, if you can catch a day when it's not that busy, I say go, have a ball. If you can't leave that park being satisfied and had fun, there is something wrong with you. That park was simply awesome. Especially the fact that it was dead and there wasn't that many people. I had a blast. You couldn't ask for anything more. It was definitely a fun, great time. Between, hanging out with your friends, riding the rides, having food, getting your ERT. It was great. Oops, wrong Larry. So that was my interpretation of Ace Day at Canobie Lake. I think it was great. I posted pictures on my personal Facebook. If anybody's friends with me, want to check them out, have a ball, look at them. Hey, you know what? Don't feel stupid. We're all stupid. We're all crazy and kooky, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. We're all allowed to be that. If we weren't all kooky and nutty, what else would we have? So anyway, before we get into some Ace events, let's talk Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. I'm not sure out of everybody that's been here how many have been, how many have not have been, how many are going for the first time. I know Larry and Tina went for the first time last year. I've gone to every Phoenix Fall Fun Fest starting in 2010, and this will be my 10, 11, 12, 13. This will be my 5th one I went to. Coming up next week. That's one of those must-go-to events. I don't even know how many people have never been to Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. The great thing about all of it is, what is it, $42, get you all day Saturday, from noon to 5, and then from 6 to 10 is Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. It also includes pizza. It includes ride tickets for the Flying Turns. I don't know if Flying Turns made it onto the bracelet. I also know that they usually have ERT on the Haunted House. And it's one of those events that, granted, if you live out our way, where most of us do, Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. FFFF. It's one of those events that you don't want to miss. If you've never been to the park itself, Knobles, you're missing out. I know as times go, times change. People, watch, don't watch. So some of you newbies that have come into watching the show that enjoy it, that haven't seen it before, we do usually a lot of video coverage of it and pictures and stuff. So that's what I plan on doing next week, just filming all kinds of stuff to see what I can in fact get, put together. But without further ado, anyway, you got the best flyers out there. You get the best bumper cars. You get the Phoenix, Twister, Flying Turns, Black Diamond, the Haunted Mansion. The list goes on and on with rides. Plus the antique ride, the antique cars, and the antique cars there. That's one of the longest tracks on that I've ever ridden. I haven't seen one that has that long of a ride. Well, in any case, it becomes a haunt. So you get on it, and things happen. If you go on the Pioneer train, was like a mile-long choo-choo train track. All the woods and stuff's all decorated to Halloween theme stuff, aliens and monsters and all kinds of stuff. It's a great train ride. I mean, nothing jumps out at you. It's just props, that lit up, and you might see an alien ship and an alien, and you see some cool stuff laying out. It's really cool. They have a parade that runs through the middle there, that runs by the Phoenix. Also, because we're going to be there on the Friday, you can go, in the front of the park by the parking lot. They have what they call the Covered Bridge Festival, which is like your typical art festival type place. You can get apple cider and apple dumplings, all kind of apple butter. You can get, different art stuff. People are selling things. It's definitely cool. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to wait in line to get on that ride. That's definitely no joke. So, I mean, it sucks that you got to wait in that line, but it's definitely, I think it's going to be one of the first things as soon as it starts getting dark to get in line for, because I don't want to be waiting in the line all night and wasting my time. I want to ride my rides. Yeah. So now Larry can get on, Larry will ride the bumper cars, and those are the best bumper cars on the planet. Next was Hoffman's. For sure, but now Hoffman's is closed for good, and we're probably never going to see those bumper cars again. So it's definitely Canobie's has the best bumper cars. I've never ridden anything even close to that, but Canobie's has the best bumper cars. But yes, the longest line there is the antique cars, but it's worth it. The train line gets the next longest. But other than that, everything else is just go, go, go. And we're going to have fun, and then we can ride the Monkey Maze. The Monkey Maze is the only put out for Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. Then you get to have your pizza. It's definitely going to be a fun time. I'm hoping that everybody else has fun. We're going camping there, and I found out where the site was, and it's right behind Twister, so that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. And it's probably going to be cold at night, and I can't wait for that, too. I don't want to be like waking up sweating like a fat person kind of thing. So that works out fine for me. So that's your Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Maybe I'll show one of my shorter videos next week if I can find it on here. That I'll for those that haven't been, or maybe you just kind of want to sit there and be like, "Oh, this is so beautiful! I can't wait to do it." It's going to be great. What's a double post? Oops, double post. I didn't even see your first post. No double post. So anyways, let's get into some upcoming events. Oh, May messaged me on Amigos. She's just LOLing away. All right, so let me pull up the upcoming events. There we go. Like I said before, if you're looking, it's going to be hit or miss. Tomorrow starts fall conference, 8th fall conference. So you might, if you can contact Steve Smith and get a hold of him, you can maybe get yourself on in the event. Like I said, October 4th, on next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. Coast of Madness. You can do online registration right now. That's the day after on October 5th, if you're looking to do that. Also, October 11th, I'm going. So if you want to come hang out at King's Dominion, Fall Thrill Fest, you can do it online. Let's go over the flyer real quick to see if anybody's attention can get drawn to go, because you know what, if you want to go though, mail-in registration ended yesterday and it's online only right now. So let's see what we got. You're gonna get ERT on Volcano, Dominator, and Intimidator. So I'm just gonna sit on Volcano and Intimidator. I'm just gonna flip-flop between the two. You're gonna get that. You're also gonna. They also having from 11:40 to 11 a.m. a Boo Blaster shootout tourney, and 12:15 to 12:30 you're gonna do midway game takeover at Whack-A-Mole. 3:30 to 4:30 they're gonna do prize picnic and park Q&A. 5:30 they're gonna do the EHT Club Blood exclusive haunt time on Club Blood. 6 p.m. backstage tour at Hurla. 6:30 p.m. Exclusive haunt time at Maze of Madness. And it says, to be determined, early seating for Skeleton Crew. There's going to be discounts on go-karts and Skyflyer. If you're looking to go, if you're a member, it's $54. With a season pass, it's $21. Non-members is $60. And non-members for season pass holder is $27. So, and there's free parking for Ace members with card. But you can do it online, so if that's right up your alley, by all means, go. I'm going. You know you want to go, hang out and have fun, because we have fun. You don't want to miss this. There's also the following day, October 12th, is Celebrate America, another one I'm going to. So let's break that down real quick for you, so that way, that's at Six Flags America. So maybe you're looking for something. But there's going to be ERT on the Wild Ones, Superman, Raging Cajun, and French Quarter Flyers. So, you know, Larry says, I need to ride Wild One. That used to be up here. That they relocated that from up in Mass. So you can ride the new Raging Cajun. You can ride the Flyers. But anyways, you're going to get from 11 a.m. to 12. You're going to get ERT on Wild One, Raging Cajun, and French Quarter Flyers. Then, from 1 to 2:30, you're going to get a picnic, door prizes, photo op with Fright Fest scare actors, Q&A with park management. 3 p.m. Joker's Jenks Takeover. 3:30 p.m. VIP seating for the magic of Joe Romano. Woo! And then 4:15, you're going to get a backstage tour of the Monster Factory. 7 p.m. exclusive haunt time at Voodoo Curse. 8:30 p.m. VIP seating for Blood Moon. And then 9 to 10 p.m. ERT on Superman the Ride. Now, you can... The event cost, if you don't have a season pass, which I don't know why anybody wouldn't, but some people don't, is going to be $57 for an adult or a child, $63 for non-members. If you get a season pass, it's $24 for members and $30 for non. You can also add on Extreme Scare Pass for access to all the haunted attractions, 12 to 15 at the park. You can get an optional Extreme Scare Pass, but I don't think we're going to need that because we're doing all these haunts. So I'm just saying, you never know. I guess for all the other stuff, optional Extreme Scare Pass. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what that is? Well, I will take pictures of... I know Wild One is slightly a little different, but it's at Six Flags America. If your parents want to know where it is, you need to say, hey... Go to Six Flags America in Washington, D.C., and you can ride it again. And that's all the people need. That's what they need. That's what they came for. All right, what else do we got? For those that like Conneaut Lake Park, there's Ace Ghost Lake. There's no flyer for it right now. That's on October 17th. October 18th is Ace, Daffy, Phantom Fright Night. I think that's more of a get-together instead of an event. Also on the 18th of October, Boo Dash Bash. You can do with the online registration and all that. I saw something pop up. This is in Alabama. I don't know if anybody is heading to Alabama or anytime soon or anything, but on October 25th, they're doing Rip Roaring Rampage Returns. So you can get a Rampage ride. The park didn't even open this year, but the new owner, which has to do, one of the guys, the brother or whatever, used to run or operate or own Holiday World or whatever, and now he's opening the park, and he's just opening up for 4 hours ERT, and it's free, I believe. Let me see before I say free. I don't want to say something. I lied. It's $20 and 25 for guests. I lied. Anyway, so you can do a 5 registration, 5:55 group photo, 6 p.m. dinner at the picnic pavilion, 6 to 10 p.m. ERT on the Rampage and the Wacky Worm Coaster. It's only open if anybody goes to the event. The park never opened this year. It's going to open next year. They're getting it already, but they're letting everybody take a spin and all that good stuff. Now, for those that like Silver Dollar City, there's an event on November 8th called Coaster Christmas at Silver Dollar City. There is a flyer. Another event that I'm going to. I've never done this event, so this is going to be something different. Smoky Mountain Coaster Fest at Dollywood. Lugo's been trying to get me to go to that for years. I'm like, kind of thing. So, they twisted my nipples and dragged me through the snow and gave me a wedgie and said, hey, you're going to Smoky Mountain Coaster Fest. They get the best of me. I don't know what it is with these guys. Also, on December 6th, you have 2 choices of events. You can go to a Christmas Storybook Land at Storybook Land in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Or B, you can go to Coasting Through the Snow, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I'm going to do Coasting Through the Snow. I have the season pass to Busch. I want to use it. So I'm going to do that event myself. Some events are starting to pop up for the new year, which is pretty cool, starting to see how things are starting to form. And it seems there's going to be a lot of off-season events that I never noticed, or maybe I didn't care. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to run them down real quick. There's no flyers or anything. It's just kind of keep your mind open. If anything that sounds good to you, maybe you want to jot it down on a calendar, maybe. Ace Ohio Holiday Party. It's in Sandusky, Ohio at the Kalahari Water Park. Maybe that interests you. Maybe you don't. I don't know. There is in Falls View Water Park in Niagara Falls, Ontario. I believe ON. I guess that's what it is. No Coasters A. The Ace Ohio Holiday Party is also December 6th. That's got nothing to do with the new year. But regardless, No Coasters A is on January 10th. January 17th, winter warm-up at Carowinds. January 24th, there's Winter Adventure at Six Flags Great Adventure. And everybody knows that CoasterCon is at Six Flags Great Adventure next year. So who knows what's going to pop up at this off-season event. January 31st, Ace Gets Wet, Great Wolf Lodge, Williamsburg, Virginia. March 14th. I can't believe I'm getting into next year's stuff already. This is sad. Very, very sad. We're going to... March 14th, Coaster Bash. What is it? 26. Also, on the same day is the Great Nor'easter at Six Flags New England. So, that's where I'm going to be. Then all the other stuff starts, so we don't need to worry about that for right now. That's far away from now. So we'll worry about the other stuff as time comes. But those are your upcoming events. And one last thing. One last thing before we start dumping out of here. If you guys are interested to see what's going on for Fright Fest, maybe you're waiting to make your decision about going to, what do you call it? To Fright Fest at Six Flags New England. Keep your eyes peeled to either the Grove Show's Facebook, SFNE Online's Facebook, or my own personal Facebook. We are going to be uploading pictures and stuff all day, all night. We have the media day going on for Saturday, so check back Saturday all day, all night. If you know the 3 spots on Facebook where to go, you're going to find everything. Then we're going to compile video and pictures and everything. We'll put a nice little video together for next week's show. We'll pop that in. We'll play that for a minute or two. You know what? Let's put her on blast for a second. Hey, Toots.
Hey, bitch.
Hey, what do you want? You're on the Grow Show. Welcome to the Grow Show. Oh, she hung up. She couldn't deal with it. She couldn't deal with it. I love when I do that. The Great Nor'easter is actually that's an ACE event. But what we're doing is like finally get information to do an off-season event for SFNE Online that has nothing to do with ACE. We're going to stop posting stuff, and we're going to put a poll up to see how many people are going to go. We're going to be working to see if we want to do something like January for the Great Wolf Lodge. So I know we've talked about it briefly. Tomorrow I'm going to email the water park, see if there's anything we can do. I'm sure we can. We get maybe some kind of meal, get some water park time, or just water parks in general, just admission. I'm going to try and work something up, see what I can do. And but I'm thinking about January because it's kind of like, let's get the holidays out of the way. Let's get that done and over with. We're going to get the holidays out of the way. Christmas is over. New Year's is over. And then sometime January, I would like to, obviously it's going to be a weekend. It's not going to be during the week. Probably a Saturday or a Sunday. And take care, make sure that we can get a meal, do something fun. We can all get together, hang out, have a good time, and it'll be open to any SFNE Online member. But I'm going to contact Great Wolf Lodge tomorrow, and as soon as I hear back, I'll say, what's the cost, what can we have, and we find out, we're going to put it up there. I mean, I'm sure if we put this up there for a get-together, I'm sure we should get enough people. If it's something that interests people, we can do it. I like to do off-season events, and then I already have stuff on the books working out for next year for SFNE Online for Six Flags New England. I'm going to try and get some stuff going for Lake Compounce if people want. Maybe we're going to start working on events. This is going to be like, how we talked before about opening up our own little, so to speak, coaster club. Nothing crazy, nothing, we're not trying to compete with ACE or Coaster Crew or TPR. Just something for us to get together, have fun, and get an event out of it and try and pull the people in that want to do it. So this is going to be this is how it starts. We're not just going to go, we're a coaster club and we're doing this and blah, blah, blah. That's not exactly how it's going to go. We want to make sure we do it right, and we're going to do these few events. So the initial thought was to start it in 2015. I'm probably going to push it to 2016 because I want to make sure we get it right and find out what everybody thinks about what we're doing, if they like it. If it works, then we'll move forward. If it don't work, we can just put it to bed and let it die. So, like I said, that is something to keep an eye out for. We're going to do it on sfneonline.org in the forums. We're going to do it on the Facebook. We'll put a poll up, and you can, we'll put a post up and say, hey, what places would you like us to see us do events? That's, I don't want, maybe I say I want to go to Timbuktu, and you guys, that place stinks. I want to go to Kokomo, and you think Kokomo is better. Well, I need to know from you guys what places you'd like to go. We could try Canobie Lake. We can try Lake Compounce. We can try, I'm already trying to work something out with Six Flags New England. It's just something we're going to try and work on doing and see what happens. And then, as we find out what it is, it'll be open to all people that are fans of SFNE Online. That's just how, that's just what's going to happen. So, which means it's open to anybody that wants to go, but you have to obviously find it by going to SFNE online. So we're going to make sure that it's reasonably priced, and we get what we can out of it, and we're just going to pimp it and push it and see what you guys think. We don't know what's going to happen, but all the suggestions and ideas, it isn't just my brain, it's everybody's brain. So if you guys want to have a good event that you guys can enjoy, then why not, what do you call it? Why not, right? Well, you guys give us ideas, we give you ideas, we give you a fun event. We're just putting it together, having fun. So that's what we're going to be working on. And but I will let you guys know about what happens with Great Wolf Lodge. I'm sure we can do something. So we'll see what happens. We will see. But anyways, you can tune into the Grove Show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be live from New York next week. Bunch of people, massive people going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We're going to have fun. We're going to break down whatever's going on for that week. We're going to talk about the Fright Fest Media Day. We're going to amp up some more Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. Try to get some of y'all guys down there to have fun with us. Have a powwow. But we will let everybody know what's going on as I find out. So anyways, without further ado, I'm your host, Dr. Giggles, and I will see you guys next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a great weekend. Tell me, during the week or whatever, tell me where you went. Tell me how much fun you had. Maybe you slept. Maybe you fell under a tree. Maybe you tripped over a rock. I don't know. But let me know anyway. So I will see everybody next week, and maybe I'll bump into somebody at Six Flags this weekend. But without further ado, I'm out of here. I'm your host, Dr. Giggles. Until next week, keep on coasting, baby. Woo! I'm flying like a birdie.